Welcome to the action planning video. Here we're going to go over the concept of creating your action plan. Just note that this is probably one of the most important parts when it comes to actually going about your health and wellness goals. So please stay tuned and have a pen and paper to jot down some notes. So first things first, as you can recall from the previous video regarding the vision is one piece of the whole puzzle. Remember, understanding the clear idea of what you're working towards would definitely help you create a clearer and more direct goal, as well as getting closer to accomplishing said goal. So with that being said, let's go ahead and recap on what the vision really is. So again, what the vision is what it looks like, the vibes and the actions taking place within that vision to actually create into reality. So to kind of go further into context, as you can recall from the previous video, you can either use multiple ways in order to create a clearer picture of what it is that you're creating. For example, that top left, you can either create a vision board, really getting into clips, mantras, whatever the case may be when it comes to getting into that reality, or you create an actual story for yourself using the power of storytelling. So again, when you have a clearer picture, similar to that Christine picture of that water drop right to the right, you have a clear idea of what you're working towards. Therefore, whatever goals you set would definitely be a bit more clear and a bit more directed towards that vision that you want for yourself. So with all that being said, again, make sure you have a clear vision before you begin your goal creation. So when it comes to goals, exactly, we want to get a clear idea as well, but more than that, we actually want to get as specific as possible. And how we do that, we use a framework called SMART goals. Pretty sure you've heard about this before, but nonetheless, it's still good to just kind of refresh your mind on it. So specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. So how exactly that looks like when it comes to creating your goals, as you can see right here, this is a bit of a SMART framework you can use. You will be given access to an actual PDF to kind of just review everything, but nonetheless, you want to make sure that you're using some level of framework to kind of just give you a skeleton to what you're building. So simply use the framework provided. So for particularly the goal statement, you want to use something similar to as I want to specifically describe whatever that goal is by whatever that date or time frame that you have for yourself, so that then you're going to go in a little bit in depth in terms of why this goal is important to you, and then go into the specific part. So the specific goal that you want to achieve is whatever that is, and same thing with measurable, how you're going to measure that goal. And then in terms of achievability, same thing. You want to kind of just explain to yourself why this is achievable for you. And the same thing for relevant, because sometimes we can make goals that aren't necessarily relevant to what we're actually working towards, but nonetheless, using that vision that you created previously as a way to make it a bit more relevant towards what it is that you're creating. And of course, time-bound doesn't necessarily mean you have to be in this constraint of time, but nonetheless, it gives you a deadline of what you're working towards. Therefore, you can measure progress a little bit easier over time. And the next step is to literally list out the action steps involved, whether it be literally being this video as your first action step and everything else that precedes that. And then you also want to list out your potential challenges that you may face, as well as some resources and support that you may have at your disposal, aka the Kokoro Health community, your Kokoro Health team, and possibly family members or a partner, whatever the case may be, as well as just listing out how exactly you plan on tracking your progress over time. I would highly recommend using the health app that you have access to with the Kokoro Health community. Definitely a diverse set of tools that you can use to track your progress over time. And then as well as listing out ways to reward yourself and celebrate your progress over time. Believe it or not, doing that definitely adds to the overall momentum that you're going to be building over the course of the next, rest of your life, really. So with all that being said, I want to go over some specific examples with you. So the very first one is about the body. So this one in particular says, I want to lose 15 pounds of body weight within the next 3 months so that I can improve my overall health and feel more confident in my appearance. The specific part of it is I want to achieve 15 pounds of body weight loss through a combination of healthy eating and regular exercise. Measurability, I will measure my progress by tracking my weight on a weekly basis and recording my exercise and dietary habits in a journal. The achievability part is I believe this goal is achievable because I have successfully managed my diet and exercise before, and I have access to a gym and healthy food options. The relevant part is the goal is relevant to my overall health and well-being because losing excess weight will reduce my risk of health issues and boost my self-confidence. And in terms of time bound, I will achieve this goal within the next 3 months by whatever specific date that may be for you. And then moving on to the next part of it, I'm going to go over the action steps. So the action steps for this particular goal would be create a weekly meal plan focused on nutritious, portion controlled meals. The second part would be exercise for at least 30 minutes, 5 times a week, incorporating both cardio and strength training. And the last part of this action step would be keep a food and exercise journal to track progress and identify areas for improvement. Some potential challenges that this person may face with this example. I anticipate challenges such as cravings and busy schedules. I will overcome them by keeping healthy snacks on hand and scheduling workouts in advance. And in terms of resources and support, I will use fitness apps to track my workouts and calorie intake. I will also seek guidance from a registered dietitian to create a balanced meal plan. In terms of progress tracking, I will use a weight tracking app to monitor my weight loss progress and review my food and exercise journal weekly. And in terms of rewards and celebrations, once I reach my goal of losing 10 pounds, I will treat myself to a relaxing spa day to celebrate my achievements. So again, it's whatever the case may be for your particular goal, but nonetheless, this is something you can build off of. And the next part, go over a bit more of a mind goal. So this particular one says, I want to practice mindfulness meditation for at least 10 minutes every day for the next 2 months so that I can reduce stress and enhance my overall mental well-being. In terms of the specificity part of it, what I want to achieve is to establish a daily mindfulness meditation routine lasting at least 10 minutes to improve my mental well-being. So very specific there. In terms of measurability, I will measure my progress by tracking the number of days I successfully complete the 10-minute mindfulness meditation session in a journal. In terms of achievability, I believe this goal is achievable because I've tried mindfulness meditation before and found it beneficial. So I have access to guided meditation apps and resources as well. In terms of relevance, this goal is relevant to my overall well-being as it aims to reduce stress and enhance my mental clarity and focus. And in terms of time bound, I will practice mindfulness meditation for at least 10 minutes daily over the next 2 months, starting from whatever that date may be. And in terms of action steps in this particular mind goal, so first one, choose a quiet and comfortable space for meditation. Number 2, set a consistent time each day for meditation to create a routine. And number 3, use guided meditation apps or videos to help guide my practice. And then some potential challenges that this goal may be experiencing. I anticipate challenges such as finding time in my schedule. I will overcome them by setting reminders and adjusting my routine if needed. And in terms of resources and support, we use mindfulness meditation apps and online resources to access guided sessions. Additionally, I will join online meditation groups for support. And in terms of progress tracking, I will mark each completed meditation session on a calendar and reflect on my overall sense of well-being weekly. And then in terms of rewards and celebration, after successfully completing daily mindfulness meditation for 1 month, I'll treat myself to a relaxing nature walk as a way to celebrate my commitment to self-care. So the next example I want to go over with you guys is spirit. So this particular example says, I want to spend 15 minutes in quiet reflection and gratitude each morning, 5 days a week for the next 3 months to deepen my spiritual connection and cultivate a sense of inner peace. So with that being said, the specificity part of it is I want to achieve is to incorporate a daily practice of 15 minutes of quiet reflection and gratitude to enhance my spiritual well-being. In terms of measurability, I will ensure my progress by tracking the number of mornings I successfully engage in the 15-minute reflection and gratitude practice using a journal. In terms of achievability, I believe this goal is achievable because I previously experienced moments of spiritual connection through reflection and gratitude, and I have a quiet space for this practice. And in terms of relevance, the goal is relevant to my overall well-being as it focuses on nurturing my spiritual side and fostering inner peace and contentment. And in terms of time bound, I will engage in 15 minutes of quiet reflection and gratitude each weekday morning over the next 3 months, starting from whatever that date may be. And then in terms of action steps, create a comfortable and serene space for daily reflection is number 1. Number 2, set a consistent time for this practice to establish a routine. And number 3, begin each session with a few deep breaths and focus on gratitude and positive thoughts. So, some potential challenges that this particular goal may face. I anticipate challenges like morning distractions. I will address them by setting boundaries and ensuring my practice is the first thing I do each day. And then in terms of resources and support, I refer to books, podcasts, and online articles about spirituality and mindfulness, and may also connect with spiritual communities for guidance. And then in terms of progress tracking, I will mark each completed morning session in a journal and take note of any shifts in my sense of spiritual well-being and inner peace. And last but not least, rewards and celebrations. After consistently completing the daily reflection practice for 1 month, I'll treat myself to a nature retreat as a way to honor my commitment to nurturing my spiritual health. So with all that being said, I want to go over some common pitfalls. The main thing that I've seen so far in my own personal and professional journey is that we overcomplicate goals. We literally make things a bit too unrealistic or a bit scattered all over the place because we have too many goals rather than 1 or 2 goals that we're specifically working towards within a specified time. So with that being said, we want to make sure that we're not overdoing it. Something I found over the course of time when it comes to literally helping us be simple is this acronym called KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. So I learned about this when I was in the Boy Scouts, and it definitely helped a lot when it came to, for one, just packing things, going on a camping trip, when it came to just our mindset when we're overthinking about stuff, and something that I actually remind myself on a daily basis. The more that we can keep it simple, the more than likely that we're going to accomplish those things, whether it be our body goals, mental goals, spiritual goals, whatever the case may be. The whole idea is to keep it as simple as possible so we don't overcomplicate things within our brain and we don't overcomplicate our lives. And again, we will be more successful when we keep it more simple. And with all that being said, I just want to do a quick recap. Again, when it comes to action planning, you want to make sure that you have a clear vision of what you're working towards. It gives us that inspiration of what pulls us out of the bed every morning. And then when we have our goals, that gives us that sense of discipline of what we're working towards on a daily basis in order to accomplish that vision. Because these goals that we're going to make for ourselves, they can be as big or as little as possible, but nonetheless, they all ripple into the future when it comes to our health and wellness. So with all that being said, my friends, I thank you for watching on this video. And if you have any questions regarding how to create an action plan, vision creation, or whatever the case may be, feel free to reach out to the Cobra Health team, and we'll be gladly available to assist you on your journey. Take care, and I'll talk to you later.